Hey, entrepreneurs, let's talk about a common question that comes up when you're trying to leverage a team to achieve more through your business. It's the question of should you promote from within or should you hire somebody new? When you have a new role that didn't exist prior, but now you're ready to fill that role, do you just promote someone that you already have on your team that's trusted, that's got some skills, but maybe they don't exactly align with the new role? Or do you find somebody brand new that maybe has skills specific for that role? So there's a lot of different ways you can approach this. And obviously, the degree to which the skills are difficult to develop will influence whether or not you bring in someone with existing skills. But let's say this is a common scenario, there's some overlap. And let's say you have some video editors, and some of them are probably good enough to move to a new role that's some sort of supervisory role, but you're not sure. I mean, management's not really something that they're necessarily proven to be good at. So do you promote the person you trust to be in charge of other people? Or do you find someone new who's just good at managing a team? So here's a way you can make this decision. So let's say Fred is the guy who's on your team. He's a video editor. He's really good at what he does. But should you promote Fred to take on this new managerial position, or should you find a brand new person? That's essentially what we're talking about here. So here's a visual breakdown of this situation. You got this employee, trustworthy, talented, got a new role where he probably could succeed, but do we promote Fred or do we hire somebody new? And this is a question I hear over and over again as people are growing their businesses. It's natural as you expand. You always have that question of should I just keep promoting people, because you don't want to leave Fred behind. He's proven to be good at his skill, right? We do want to avoid the scenario where we promote somebody to the point of their incompetence. That concept that people often stop getting promoted once they stop showing that they're really good at something. And so now they're forever stuck in a role that they're not really good at, or else they would have gotten promoted. Often happens in larger corporations. You guys, as smaller entrepreneurs, fast moving, thinking on your feet, you're probably less likely to make that mistake. But we do want to avoid that scenario. On the other hand, we don't want Fred to quit because he feels like you're bringing in other people above him. And so here's a potential solution. When we think about it, what we're really trying to achieve is go from point A to point B faster. We're trying to accelerate your goals. And that requires that we keep your time free. So we don't want to spend a lot of time finding, hiring, and training people who might not even be right for the role, who end up not being trustworthy, not having the right work ethic or personality or skills to be able to get it done. So you promote Fred, but now to prevent you from having to spend the time to hire somebody to replace Fred, first you ask Fred to hire his own replacement, train the person for his own role, then promote Fred to the new position that requires a little bit more learning, but you know that he's proven he can do that in the past. He's trustworthy. You've seen the kinds of skills that he has there. And then if Fred ends up not being as good for this new role, then you can find a way to navigate that at the time. But at the root level, the core idea is we're trying to save you time. And so if we can do this, and especially if you make it reversible, where you say to Fred, hey, let's try this. I don't know if it's a good fit for your particular skills, but let's just make it reversible. So we'll say, let's try it for 6 weeks or 2 months. And if it doesn't seem to be really working out, we can always reverse that. So that's one of the keys with decision making is that if it's a reversible decision, you don't need to spend quite as much time breaking down all the variables and making sure it's the absolute best decision because, well, it's reversible. So you can get the data first and then decide if you want to stick with the original decision or go back. So the key is to make Fred aware of that before you promote him. And don't even call it a promotion. Just call it a shift in role responsibilities that is going to be a temporary test to see if it helps to improve the efficiency of the organization at accomplishing its daily and weekly tasks. So here's your challenge this week. As you think about the growth your team has done, as you think about what's coming next, ask yourself, who are you going to need to bring in for the next level of success for your business? By thinking ahead and considering what's next, you're more likely to start building the kind of relationships outside and internally with your team, the kinds of insights that you need to know who's going to be needed for that next level. Once you've identified the roles that are needed for the next level of success for your business, it's a lot easier to start making these kinds of decisions in advance and thinking ahead about how you're going to fill the roles so that you can keep moving it forward quickly. And here are the two concepts I want you to take away from this micro training on productivity when it comes to leadership and hiring. One is hire in a way that saves you time, and promote and hire in a way that is reversible. If you just keep those two core principles in mind, you'll find that you can make a lot more mini decisions and small mistakes that are reversible and allow you to ultimately achieve your goals. Talk to you soon.